Transformation Time. My name is Carol, a transformational speaker, writer, blogger, and movable optimist, and I'm here to help you become a better version of yourself in your personal life as well as your business. As you can see today, I'm working from my home office, really excited and really happy about it because it's sort of been like a dream that has been unfolding for a couple of years. For those of you that have been following me on social media, I did mention to say that I came from a corporate background and then had to adapt to start working from home as I was growing the Mompreneur brand as well as the Mushota brand. Now, what does this all involve, and is it as easy as it comes? Is it as easy as people show it to be on Instagram? Is it as easy as people say it is? And does it really have to be as glamorous as people say it? I've got some news for you. You may not be too impressed, but actually working from home, working for yourself is so much harder. And why do I say that? Having come from a corporate background, I've always said that it's always a matter of you instilling discipline in yourself. Now, discipline is not so much what people really think, it is, because when you are in a corporate structure, it's almost like everything has been laid out for you. And it's not everybody that has, the privilege to have an office like I have. Some people just have a little desk in the corner, and that's exactly how I got started. Now, one thing you have to know is that you have to maintain a routine that's actually even more strict than somebody who's actually got the 8 to 5. Why do I say that? Because it's so easy for you to just slump into your bed and say, you know what, I'm going to press the snooze button. I don't feel like getting up, this is my time. But trust me, if you keep doing that, before you know it, it's going to be, half the day has gone by and you haven't achieved anything. Today, I want to share with you what it's like to work from home and the steps that can help you to be very effective. Now, you don't have to follow all of them, but there's just certain principles about working from home and certain principles of success that have to be followed. And this is all down to, what it is that you really want to achieve. How badly do you want to achieve when it comes to you starting up and working from home? Okay, so like I said, it's very, very difficult. It requires, a lot of discipline. But one thing that is really important is for you to have a routine. My day starts at 4:30, regardless of whether it's, a Monday or whether it's a Saturday. I think I do slack sometimes on a Sunday, but it's very, very rare because as time goes by, your body sort of like just gets used to this routine that you have. And you know that between 4:30 and 5, maybe you're doing your devotion, you're doing your personal development, or you're just running through, the mere tasks of the day and what your priorities are. So I would really urge somebody out there to just take note of everything that I'm going to share today. So, like I said, we're talking about working from home. It's about organization. Guys, I can't emphasize this. You have to really be organized and you have to be self-disciplined. You really need to be at a place where you are your own cheerleader. On the days that you feel crappy, on the days that you feel like you can achieve anything, and on those days where you just feel like giving up, everything has to be put in place. It's up to you, I have this thing because maybe I spend a lot of time in corporate, so you will find me every now and then, sort of like semi-casual. And there are days when I'm just like formal because it depends on who I'm going to, be having a meeting with. But we're not saying that you can't walk into your office with your pajamas. But what really happens is that if you have that sort of routine, there's something about being, laid out and being all laissez-faire. It sort of like comes down into your work as well, because that same attitude that you woke up with and the same attitude that you're dressed in is exactly, to a certain extent how you are going to deliver. I'm not saying that I've not delivered exceptional work when I'm in my pajamas. There are days I've worked from bed and achieved so much more than being at the desk. It's all a matter of what are you prioritizing? Do you have an old school planner or do you have a digital planner? What are the tasks that you need to tick off? In order for you to be organized, you need to have a checklist. Now, these are the things that I always tell people. Make sure that you're eating right. Eating right, as you guys know, is very much a core of me. Nutrition is something that I'm really, always emphasizing about, because as much as we can have all these big goals and all these big dreams and the things that we want to achieve, it still comes down to what happens if you're not able to deliver that because, of some illness, or because of, you haven't eaten well and maybe you're fatigued. And, also if you're not eating right, your mood is just like, one of those things that people don't want to be around you. And if people don't want to be around you, how are you going to work with people to be effective and achieve the goals that you want to achieve? Because even small little things like your phone call, the kind of call that you're making, your energy will come out of it and will be able to pick it up. So you need to make sure that you really take care of yourself all in all, okay? And then in much as, we talk about eating right, it's not so much about just snacking on everything. I always plan for my meals in advance so that there's not much running up and down when it comes to what I need in my home, because the everyday distractions will always be there. And if you're working from home like me, who's got children in the home, and if you're not mentally disciplined, or if you haven't taken time to cultivate this environment where people know that this is your workspace, this is what you need to achieve, you're going to find yourself very frustrated with every walk in the corridor, with every noise and everything. But you need to create an environment where you understand, what is my task at hand? What do I need to do? If you know, like maybe you've got a big project coming on, and it requires some sort of like a lot of focus, you need to then start asking yourself, do I need to get extra house help? Does my house help have to stay a little bit longer? Do I need to plan for daycare? Do I need to maybe get some relatives to help me? All those are things that will help you in the journey of success, okay? And then utilize technology. We're in a space where you can have auto reminders, things that can even just have a Google Calendar, know exactly what you're doing. Even if it's tentative, meaning that even if it's not really set in stone, you need to make sure that you just mark it somewhere so that you can then be effective. So that even if you have to maybe confirm an appointment, or maybe you have to confirm an event, you know what is happening and you know where you need to clear. Have a whiteboard. I have a whiteboard in my office, so I know what it is that I'm focusing on. And don't put too many things there, because it's going to distract you. That's why we have journals, we have our phones, we have to-do lists. But when it comes to you and what it is that you need to focus on, let it be that, focus for either the day or for the week, so that you are not then distracted, okay? And then you also need to make sure that you put yourself in a place where it's a designated office mode. So I didn't just get here and say I have this office space in my home. You can start with just even a corner of your room, or you can just have, a space in your dining room. And you know that when it comes to me sitting down in this space, this means I'm in work mode. This means I'm about to achieve. So make sure that you're organized, okay? And then you need to also prioritize, what are the tasks for my office and what are the tasks for my personal home. So you know that maybe you've got a client invoice that you need to send out. You can't then use that time to start making meals for kids. You can't use that time to start watching series. You can't use that time to be power napping, because that's something I'm also going to talk about. But you need to plan for it. So if the same way that we give, we were given lunch breaks when it comes to corporate, is the same thing that you do at home. You designate your personal runarounds for the time after you've already prioritized your work. What is it that you need to achieve for your clients before you can achieve for yourself? Otherwise, plan in advance. Do the meals in advance. Plan it out. Know what it is that's needed. If you know you don't want any distractions, plan everything and make sure that you stick to it. Okay? And then also, it's important for you to zone out. I have a library. I'm such a reader, and most of the times you're going to come and find that I have a lot of personal development books. I've got, books on success, books on motivation, all that stuff. But you're going to find I've got a few magazines, and I've also got a few novels. Why? Because it's important for you to zone out. Take mini breaks throughout the day. Stand up, get some fresh air. Make a phone call to your loved ones, maybe say hi to your mom, or check up on your partner at work, or, just find out how your friends are doing. But just zone out for a little while so that you can just get in touch with reality and have that balance in life, so that you're not too pressured. And sometimes when you actually step out of that space, it's so much easier for you. Maybe if you are struggling with maybe making a decision, or you are a bit fatigued or stressed, when you actually step out, you will find that you're able to maybe even have clarity on something that was so difficult. Okay? And then just something that I also really feel that people don't do that so much, and then when they do it, they just go, out of the park with this, is you need to have power naps. If you work from home, it's very important because your home environment sometimes can be really stressful as well, but you need to tone down and then have power naps. Power naps should not be longer than 20 to 30 minutes because after that you just have sleep and you don't have time for sleep because you will probably be working more than 8 hours when it comes to you working from home. So you need to be really disciplined, but at the same time your body just needs to shut down. A power nap is not that you're really going to deep sleep. It's really about you just understanding that my body needs to, relax a little bit. My mind needs to tone down. So you can still hear what is happening in your environment, but you are just really relaxing. People can also do this even in their corporate environments if you feel like, it's important. If you know that maybe you're not going far, you can even just maybe take a power nap in your car. Who knows? If you have that space like our Google offices have out there in the United States and stuff, you can also do that and create that environment so people can be effective. One thing that I also love about working from home is sometimes certain environments don't allow you to have sort of like your goals in place and everything. So I have things around my office that remind me of the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing, so that on the times that I'm feeling discouraged, I can either look at a photo or I can look at, maybe a place that I want to go to or the things that I want to achieve, sort of like scattered vision boards, so to speak. Because sometimes you can't really have that in the office and you find yourself very frustrated in that space. So that's another thing that can help you. And make sure that at the end of the day, you freshen up, you get out of the work mode the same way that you would if you were working in a formal environment, because then that would tell you and signal you that this is actually something that has ended and I've achieved the goals that I want to achieve. So like I was saying, it's really important for you to get out of that work mode even though you work from home, just so you know that my day has ended and it's time for a new chapter. Maybe it's time for you to do homework with the kids, or maybe it's time for you to relax, maybe it's time for you to read a book, or maybe it's time for you to check up on your emails, because everything should be designated and you need to have that routine for quite some time. And understand that sometimes people may not take you seriously because you're working from a home office, but it's about the value that you put on yourself, the way that you handle everything professionally, and let them know that the same way that they would go to a corporate environment is the same way it would be with you. So when it comes to you doing your business, just because they come to a home setup doesn't mean that it's time to relax, putting feet up, having food all over the place and stuff like that. It's about you maintaining that self-discipline, because we're not going to know how you take yourself seriously unless you show us how serious you are. And one thing that is really key, it's not easy because we are surrounded by technology and we're surrounded with a sense of urgency. It's microwave this and microwave that. Everybody's in a hurry to do stuff. But once in a while, start with this bit by bit. Make sure that you start making sort of like your relaxation, your home, where you put your head on the pillow, to be a place of sanctity. Let it be a place of sanity as well, and let it be a nice safe haven for you, and you start toning down on technology. If you're going to have technology in your environment, maybe put it on vibration, or put it on silent, but let it be in a space where you know that you're out of the work mode. And let people know that as much as you work from home, maybe your day ends at 7 p.m., maybe your day ends at 9 p.m. It's up to you, but know that after a certain amount of time, it's very difficult for people to get through to you. Let them respect your boundaries, but we will not know your boundaries unless you tell us. So it's really important that you understand everything that you're going through when it comes to setting up your home office. So I hope that today's episode has helped somebody out there and maybe inspired someone out there to get started. Remember, it's not so much about having the big step. It's the little steps for you to get to where you want to be. Start by just supporting a local carpenter. Let them start doing everything. Everything for me in this office was done by Zambians. So, start looking out for what it is that you can do for that time. If your budget is 250 kwacha, start thinking to yourself, what do I need? Is it staplers? Is it pen? Is it paper? Build your office bit by bit and celebrate every little achievement that you make. Because remember that Rome was not built in a day. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. Don't forget to follow us on social media. It's at Mushota TT on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Until the next episode, it's goodbye from me.